You know, in spite of everything that's happened so far in the blessed land of dreams, Penacony, no doubt the most mysterious person we've run into so far is this lady, whose name is unknown. And not because, you know, she lied when she told us her name was Acheron the Galaxy Ranger. It's because she never once said her name was Acheron, nor did she ever claim to be a Galaxy Ranger. Pay close attention to both the times she introduced herself to us.
Galaxy Ranger Acheron. This is what they call me. You can call me whatever you want. Galaxy Ranger Acheron. This is what they call me. You can call me whatever you want. I doubt we'll meet again.
She used the same exact wording twice and simply said Galaxy Ranger Acheron. That's what they call her, and then goes on to state we can call her whatever we like, and we choose to go with Galaxy Ranger Acheron. Anyway.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Hey, sorry, it's me. I'm editing this right now, and funny story, I just remember there actually is a clip where she states her name is Acheron and she is a Galaxy Ranger.
Welcome to Penacony, young lady. May I ask your name?
Acheron, the Galaxy Ranger.
Well, don't I look fucking stupid now?
And now back to your regularly scheduled program.
Later, we learn from Aventurine she isn't a Galaxy Ranger at all, but in actuality an Emanator, one who brings death. For those unaware of what an Emanator is and why this is a big deal, an Emanator is someone who's gained permission from an Eon to draw from their path. They are far stronger than ordinary Pathstriders, who are merely graced with an Eon's gaze. The databank likens a Pathstrider to a singular shattered foam, an Emanator as a huge wave that erodes the coast, and the Eon as a tsunami that engulfs mountains. Now, that's not to say all Emanators are by default strong, as different Eons have different attitudes towards them. Some Eons grant Emanators lots of power, whereas other Eons don't care for them at all. Now, so far, we've met 3 and, you know, a half Emanators. Herta is an Emanator of erudition, but we've never actually met Herta, so, you know, she's the half. The 3 Emanators we actually have met so far are Phantilia, who is an Emanator of destruction, Black Swan, and the Messenger, who are both Emanators of remembrance. As for which Eon Acheron is an Emanator of, Aventurine said he didn't know, but thanks to the power of breaking the 4th wall, the answer might be Nihility, but maybe Mihoyo has a trick up their sleeve, who knows? Because, I mean, Black Swan is a Nihility unit, but an Emanator for remembrance, so who knows? What Aventurine did know, however, so he claimed, was that Acheron is an Emanator who brings death and finality. Saying she brings death is interesting given the current state of affairs in Penacony, as we know there is currently a monster lurking below that also brings death.
How could a meme that heralds death and murder appear in a dream that the family proclaims to be absolutely safe?
So we either need to reconcile with the idea that there are 2 separate entities that seem to do the same exact thing, or somehow these 2 are connected. However, despite the 2 of them having the same role, allegedly, Acheron seemingly calls out the danger of the meme when it's close.
Watch out! A dangerous presence lurks nearby.
Now, while both Acheron and the meme are said to be death bringers, only one of the 2 are truly living up to this title, with the meme currently being up 2-0 on Acheron. This honestly wouldn't be so odd if it didn't seem like Acheron was going out of her way not to kill anything. Look, honestly, if it was 2 beings that happen to bring death, and one was just a mindless killing machine, whereas the other was more calculated, that's fine, but that's not what's going on here. Acheron has been involved in at least 2 situations in which she does the absolute bare fucking minimum. When faced with the meme, she literally just stood there. she didn't move or anything. I don't even think that her hand contemplated going for the sword. She sort of just was looking like, God damn, niggas. Interestingly, if you had the balls to get mad at her and press her as to why she never unsheathed her sword, she states it's because she had no choice.
It was my hesitation that caused her to lose her life. I'm sorry. Sorry, I had no choice.
And it seems as if she truly means this, as later when we see her fighting Sam, she's using her sword, sure, but it's still in its scabbard. This echoes her released tweet, which states, quote, "Though aloof and taciturn, her blade flicks out like lashing lightning, and yet she always strikes with her scabbard, never drawing the sword free." Now, we do actually know what it looks like when she does use her sword, as she did so in the White Knight music video.
Be alone tonight. Only me with you all the time. There's no one
The whole clip is interesting because we see Sam dodging a series of purple slashes before a much bigger red slash comes for him, completely obliterating the area. Acheron's eyes are also glowing when she does this, which I think could help to explain the mysterious red text that often pops up when we're talking with her. The first and most important thing to note about the red text is that there are at least 3 instances in which it changes depending on what you picked for dialogue. The first time this happens is right after she cuts Aventurine's magic trick short by asking what everyone's doing in her room. In one instance, she genuinely believes this to be her room and questions if she's lost.
Have I come to the wrong room? This can't be. Before I said anything, I even made sure that I had the right room number. Do I have the wrong wing or even the wrong lock? I'm sorry, this hotel is huge and the hallways all look the same. It's easy to get lost in here.
In another, she knows this isn't her room but saw Aventurine acting sketchy and stepped in when she felt necessary.
I jest. Take it easy. This is indeed your room. I was just passing by. I'm trying to find my own room too, and I heard a commotion here. So I came to take a look. Luckily your door was open, or could have gotten dangerous. That man looked like he was up to no good.
The second time her answer changes is when we enter the memory zone with Black Swan and run into Acheron. When Black Swan asks how she ended up there, she gives one of 2 answers. One being she was working with the Bloodhound family to track down a criminal.
It's a long story. I fortuitously, as he should remember, became friends with some of the Bloodhounds and was helping them track down a wanted criminal. Except I ended up here for some reason.
And the other being she accidentally heard a masked fool before she ended up here in a flash.
It's probably not as complicated as it sounds. It's all thanks to a masked fool. Maybe I unwittingly hurt her. And then in a flash of kaleidoscopic light, I ended up here.
The final instance is regarding where she remembers us from. In one story she gives, she states it could be deja vu, but is unsure from where.
Is that so? I haven't been able to shake off this familiar feeling since just now. Maybe this is what they call deja vu. Or it could purely be serendipity.
In another, she states she remembers us from a dream she had on her way here.
Yes, it was a dream. I had a dream on my way here, and I think you were in it. A blink of a thought in my head.
This may sound embarrassing because I would sometimes forget stuff I really shouldn't have from past experiences. It's just a habit of mine. Don't mind me.
In all of these instances, it's interesting the red text appears to provide an explanation for something. With regards to the room, we challenge the claim that this is our room until the red text appears offering an explanation as to why she's there. When we find her in the memory zone, we ask her what she's doing there, and once again the red text appears, again offering an explanation as to why she's there. And finally, the red text is used to explain why she feels as if she remembers us from somewhere. The only time this doesn't really apply, however, is the first time we met Acheron and the red text appears. It's not in response to a question we asked, but rather to a question Acheron herself asked.
But before you do, I would make a request of you. You may think it somewhat strange, perhaps even rude, but I wish to know. Have we met somewhere before?
That's not the only difference between the opening scene Acheron and the real Acheron, as another major difference between the two is their familiarity with the dream world. In the opening scene, Acheron displayed a high level of expertise when it came to how the dream world worked, even being able to speak in our minds.
After you.
Am I supposed to walk up the wall? How is this even possible?
Why not?
She can hear the thoughts in my head?
However, the real Acheron couldn't even fathom standing on a ceiling.
This room. Why is it upside down?
The memory zone is constantly shifting its form. Looks like we'll have to think of a way to walk on the ceiling.
We're standing on the ceiling right now.
I'm not sure what to make of the red dialogue. I never played Honkai Impact 3, so I have no idea what Raiden Mei was like in that game, but given until now, A was the most recent iteration of her in Genshin Impact, and she had a split personality thing going on, with A having her own personality and the puppet having another. It could be something similar is going on here, where the real Acheron is someone far different from the Emanator of Death version of her that may have been forced upon her due to a blood debt that she mentioned she had.
This is the only advice I have for you. From someone burdened with a blood debt.
Maybe that this version of her comes out when she unsheathes her sword, which is why she really doesn't want to take out the sword, because when she does, someone dies. But this still wouldn't really explain why the Emanator of Death version of her has to do the explaining on her behalf, nor how it's able to come out and speak if it's really tied to the sword being out of the scabbard. And even then, this does nothing to answer why the Acheron at the start of the quest was so knowledgeable, the red dialogue or otherwise. Furthermore, none of this does anything to answer why she's even here in the first place. According to Aventurine, she killed Duke Inferno and swiped his invite, but why? Honestly, if the other Acheron, the Emanator of Death version of her, was the one who killed Duke Inferno and has business with Penacony, this could explain why it's that one that has to offer explanation so much, given the real Acheron may not entirely know what's going on. But even this doesn't really fit when you consider that taking out the sword is a conscious choice that she can choose to make. This is a tough situation, my niggas. I don't know what's going on, I really don't. And this is an extra long patch too, man. They are not finna give us no answers.